In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create this very simple n8n workflow where you can just upload your avatar image and the product image, and you click the button and you can get your AI generated UGC content very quickly, and you can upload it and use it for your advertisement. Perfect. Take a look and see how it works. So just to show you how it works, as you can see here, this is the avatar image. So the way this n8n workflow works, there's a button here. We click on this button and this form will be shown to the user, and the user can choose the avatar image and the product image, and they can also write in a script for that UGC character.
It's beautiful and only $157. Click the link for 10% off now.
So there's another sample. The UGC created is like this.
I highly recommend you this product. It is only like $23. You can buy it right now. Link in the description.
Love this watch. It's just $348. Click the link for 10% off.
The beauty of this workflow is that I have tried to use very simple models, and the cost of running this model is less than 15 cents. So it is really cheap compared to other models maybe, and the way it works is really simple. So if you are interested in learning how to build this workflow, please watch this video till the end. Well, we're only using Gemini and Vue 3.1. And after the video generation is completed, you're gonna get the result inside a Google Sheet. Very simple, so you can track your generation flow and you can see the final output. Perfect. So bear with me so I can explain to you how it works step by step. And for the first thing, just understand that this workflow is very simple. So I'm sure that if you are not a technical person, you can just learn anything about this workflow and you can replicate it by yourself. But at the very end, I will show you how you can download this workflow for free, and you can simply just change it a little bit to actually suit your use case, and you can build it and customize it for yourself. So the first thing that we need here, and we have used here, is that we have used a trigger called 𝗪𝗏. And the way it works is very simple. So if I click on this execute workflow, you're going to see that a form will be opened and will be shown to the user. So the form is simply trigger where if you click on the configuration, let me zoom a little bit. So the way it works is very simple. You can define what a specific inputs do you want for your workflow. Well, so in this use case that we have, I wanted to get the avatar image, which is the type of the input should be file, and I turned off the multiple files because we only want to list them to choose only one file, and the field it must be required, and the other field that we wanted to have was the product image. So it was again a file. I've turned off the multiple files and the field is required again, and the last field that I've used here is that we are using a script, so the character will say the thing that you want. For example, if you want the UGC to say that there's a link in the description, or you can get like 10% discount, or this product has these sort of details, you can say all of these things. You can actually let the character say all of these things inside this using this script field. So it is also required here, and for this specific field we have used the text area type. Okay, so this is it, very simple. The next thing that we do is that we want to convert this file that we're receiving, which is a binary file, to base 64. So the reason we do this here is that we are using a system called 𝗨 AI. So if you go to the Google and search 𝗨.ai, there's a platform which is focused only on LLMs and AI that is for image and video and music generation. And this service gives you an API for uploading files to their system. And the reason that we want to upload these files, the files that we are giving to the n8n workflow, must be uploaded because these files are going to be used and sent to the other LLMs and APIs. In the next minutes, I'm going to explain that, but we want to have the file on the server so we can access it for the other APIs that we're going to use. So the reason that why we need this convert to base64 is that when we open this form, the file that we're sending to this workflow is a binary file. You're going to see that we have received avatar image file and product image. And as you can see here, this is not a schema, this is not table, this is not JSON, this is binary, okay? So since this is binary, we just need to convert this into something that we can upload very easily to their API endpoint. So that's why we're using this n8n node called file converter. And the way it works is that we're going to choose the operator move file to big64 string. And the way it works is very simple. It just takes the name of the binary file. In this case, it is avatar image. So we just copy and paste it here. And the destination output field would be avatar image data. So this is just a name for our attributes. So if I close this, we do the same thing for the product image. So again, we need to move the file to base64 string. The name is going to be the same as this name. So we just copy and paste it here. And the destination output would be something similar to that structure, product image data. So we want to differentiate between these two files. After that, we're gonna upload each one of these files into the 𝗨 API endpoint. And as you can see here, this is the URL for 𝗨. The method is post. And here there's something that I need to explain about. And the pointer is that you need to actually sign up to their website. In this channel, I'm trying to help other business owners to automate their business without having the technical background. So if you are a business owner and you want to know how to automate your things, your workflows inside your business using AI and automation tools like n8n, Make, Zapier, anything, you can subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I will try to do my best to give you the most value. I'll try to teach anything that I know in AI automation world. Thank you very much. Let's get back to the video. So you just click on this get started and sign in with your Google account, or you can use Microsoft account. And after signing in into their platform, you're going to see that they give you actually 80. So if I go to the billing, they're going to give you 80 credits, which is not enough for our use case. So I highly recommend you to charge your account for at least $5. And the pointer is that you just need to go to this API keys. You need to create an API key for yourself, or you can copy this current API key, and you get back to the n8n, and you're going to click on this generic credential type. Then you're going to click on this header authentication, because we will send the token via header. And then you're going to click on this create a new credential button. You will choose the name to actually authorization. So just to show you, let me click on the previous credential. So the name would be authorization. And you just, what you do here, you just copy and paste your API key here and save the configuration and try to execute the step to see this code 200, which means that the API endpoint works as expected. So the only thing that we do here, we will send a body to this API endpoint. And the body is a JSON using fields below. So the only thing that we send to this API endpoint is a base64 data. And the way we do this here is that we're gonna use the meme type. The meme type means the file type that we are sending to this API endpoint. So in order to get that, if we close this this node, if I click on this form submission, you're gonna see that we have the meme type. I mean, the n8n was able to actually detect the file meme type. So we're going to use the same information from here. So if I get back here, you're going to see that I'm just referring to the on form submission. getting the item, the JSON, and then avatar image, I'm getting the meme type. And after that, we want to pass the base64. The base64 comes from the previous node, so we just use the JSON dot and avatar image data. Very simple, you see? So the base64 is something like this. It is just a very, very long text, which is actually the file itself but converted into a text, okay? And all of these data will be sent to the 𝗨 API endpoint, and these are just some configurations that I've set here, and we're gonna give it a file name, and the file name uses the current date with this format, just to make it a little bit more unique. And we do the same thing here for the product image, and after that, we're gonna use this set node only to extract the download URL for that file name. So if I copy and paste it in the browser, this URL, the file will be downloaded, and we can see that this is the exact file that we have uploaded, we try to upload to the 𝗨 endpoint. So very simple. We just took the file, converted to base64, and sent it to the 𝗨 API endpoints just to upload the file. Very simple. So after uploading all of these two images, we're gonna merge these two routes here, because we don't wanna actually run the whole workflow only on the avatar image or only on the product image. So that's why we want to merge these two items together to run everything based on one single route. So what we do here, we just merge the execution for both of these routes here. So we use the mode combine. We want to combine these two routes. We're going to use the combine by position, because I mean, the only position that we have here is this position, and we have two different inputs here. So one for avatar, one for product. After merging these two routes here, we're going to get one single item with avatar URL and product URL. This is exactly what we want. So now we have the images. The next step that we want to use here is that we want to analyze these two images to know what are these. So I have used the OpenRouter GPT model. So the point here is that you can use the OpenAI API for this. There's no problem with that. But the reason I always use OpenRouter is that OpenRouter gives me access to all the LLMs out there, and mostly for text, images, and for this sort of use cases. But when it comes to like image generation or video generation, OpenRouter most of the time doesn't do a really good job. I mean, I've tried multiple times to generate images using for Gemini or Gemini actually Nano Pro, and I wasn't really successful. So for this use case, the only thing that we do here, we just send the two images to the GPT model. So if I click on this, you're going to see that the model is GPT-0.1, and I'm asking the GPT to understand the relation between these two images and guess the best style to actually for this two images to fit together, to combine them together. So what I mean here is that sometimes the product image is something that the character should actually take it with his hand and show it to the camera. Sometimes this is something that the character should wear it like a jacket, or maybe it's a headphone that maybe the person should take it and put it on his head, something like that. So this is the prompts that I've used here, and I gave the GPT-0.1 to actually guess the relationship between the product and the person. And the reason I use GPT for this, because I tried multiple times to use the Gemini version, and honestly, GPT, when it comes to vision, is really perfect. I mean, it can understand most of the thing that I sent to GPT. So here's the reason why I use GPT for your use case, for this use case. So what you do here is that you're gonna go to the OpenRouter, you search for OpenRouter, click onto you're gonna open their website. You can sign up very simply, use your Google account, and after signing and logging in into their OpenRouter website, you're going to click on this keys. You create the key, just click on this creating a key, and you create the key. You take the token here. And the thing that you might ask here, maybe you have seen or you have tried the 𝗨𝗀𝗲 before. And most of the time, you're going to use the 𝗨𝗀𝗲 this way. You're going to click on this plus button, search for 𝗨𝗀𝗲, and you're going to see that there is a node, an official node for 𝗨𝗀𝗲. The reason that I've used the HTTP node was that unfortunately the official node for 𝗨𝗀𝗲 doesn't allow me to actually upload and use images or files. So in the official node, we can only use the text as an input. So that's why I had no option other than using the HTTP node. So what you do, you're going to create this HTTP node. The method would be post. The URL would be the same thing as you see here. So at the very end, I'm going to show you how you can download this workflow. So you can just copy and paste everything, no problem. And you're going to use the predefined credential type. The reason is that this is a type of service that the n8n supports. So there's no need to use the generic credential type. So you're going to click on this and you're going to choose the 𝗨𝗀𝗲 service, and you can click on this credential, paste the API key, and that's it. Very simple. So you just send them the body, and the body would be JSON, and using this JSON, and the JSON is could be a little bit complicated for you. So the only thing that you do is that you copy and paste it for yourself, and the only thing that you're going to change here, and I highly recommend you to take the whole text and try not to use any double quotation. Just you're allowed to use the single quotation because this is a JSON format. So this is not going to work if you use the double quotation here. And you're going to take this prompt if you want to change it and paste it inside Claude or GPT, and you can ask the Claude or GPT or other LLM to customize it for your use case. For example, you can say that this is always this sort of product, so show it in this sort of style, or ask the AI to move the camera or something like that. But the simple thing that I've done here is that I've told the GPT 5.1 to analyze and understand the relation between these two images to generate a prompt for GPT Nano Banana Pro to actually have the most connection with the product and the person. So you can add anything that you want, and at the end I told this LLM to generate a prompt for me so I can give it to the Nano Banana Pro. So the last thing that you have to do here is that you're gonna pass the URL that was returned from the 𝗨𝗀 system. You're gonna put it here, and the URL for the product. So you're gonna have you have to actually put these two URLs, and you're gonna send it to 𝗨𝗀𝗲. Very simple. So after that, after sending this request to the 𝗨𝗀𝗀𝗲 or the OpenAI endpoint at the end, what we're gonna get is simply, we're gonna get this result, and the result include this content response. And the content, what it says, I highly recommend you to click on this JSON and copy this. So if you go to this website, JSON Online, if you search for something like this, you're going to see this website. And if you paste your received JSON here, you click on this arrow button. So let me just close this ad. You're going to see that we have this content here. So you can read this content and see that the LLM was able to understand the whole connection between the first image and the second image, and it was able to generate a prompt for you. So you can simply take the prompt and give it to Gemini Nano Banana. Okay, very simple. So after sending the image to the 𝗨𝗀 platform, because we're using the 𝗨𝗀 service again here, so you just simply go to this 𝗨𝗀.ai website, and if you go to the image generation, you're going to see that there is a item here called Nano Banana Pro, and I've simply used this service in order to generate that Nano Banana Pro image. So what we do here is again a very simple HTTP request with post method. The URL would be the same thing. You're going to copy and paste it. This is a generic credential type, and for the simplicity, what you're going to do, you're going to copy and paste this exact node and you just change the other configurations here. So you're not gonna, there's no need to add these all credentials again. So the only thing that we do here, we're gonna send a different body request, and the body would be the model, which is the 𝗨𝗏 Pro. The callback URL is not needed here, so I'm gonna remove this. I've tried to use their callback URL, but it was making it a little bit more complicated, so I'm gonna remove this. So there's no need for the callback URL. And the input is very simple. You just pass the prompt. So in order for passing the prompt, we just refer to the previous node, and we just take that part related to the prompt. And the thing that I've done here is that I've replaced any double quotation in order to avoid the actually error that might happen, because as I told you, we're sending a JSON format value. So if we are using a double quotation inside double quotation, the JSON will be actually not valid, and the service will give you an error. So that's why I've replaced any double quotation with single quotation. And I've also checked for any new line, and I've replaced it with this character, which is for the new line. So after that, we have set the aspect ratio to 9:16. It means a ratio specified for the short form contents, and the resolution is 2K because the price for 1K and 2K is the same. If you come here, and you're going to see that it is 9 cents, the 1K and the 2K. And after that, we're going to use the JPG as an output. Doesn't matter, we can use the PNG. And the image input, we're going to use the same URLs as we did before, and we sent to the GPT. We're going to send the same URLs, but this time to 𝗨𝗏 Pro. Okay, very simple. And you can always see the preview of the request that you're about to send to this service. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to close this model. And this is a little bit more complicated part of the working with this sort of APIs. The point here is that some of these APIs requires you to actually initiate a task and then wait until the task is finished, and you can then get the result of it. So this is not only for the 𝗨 platform. We can see the same thing previously for the API or other services that requires more time to actually process your task. They don't send you the result immediately. What they say is that, okay, we're working on your task. It usually takes like maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, nobody knows. So we will get back to you, and we will show you the result after the job is done. So that's why they will give you two different APIs. The first one is for initiating the task, and the second one is for getting the result. So as you can see here, what we do, we first initiate the task here. We just create the task of creating that or generating that image using Gemini 𝗨𝗏 Pro. And after that, we are checking if the image is ready. So here we're going to use this API endpoint, and this time it is get. We're going to use the same credentials. And here we just pass the task ID, which we have received from the previous node. As you can see here, we have the task ID. Very simple, because we have generated that task. We initiated it, okay? And the result of that, getting the result would be, sometimes the status would be success, but most of the time, before we actually get the result, it is pending or processing, something like that. So after we checked for the result, so let's assume that the first time it is not success. So as you can see here, it checked multiple times, and the very first time when we received, it was waiting, and it could be any other thing because we have multiple status here. But we want to make sure that we don't stop checking until the JSON code is 200. It means that the result that we're getting is successful. We were able to fetch the whole request, so it doesn't really matter. But the important part is that the status must be success. When the result is ready, the status is equal to success. It is not waiting. It is not pending or any other thing. It is not error. It is success. So if it is not 200 or success, we're going to try again and fetch the request again. And in the second part, we want to make sure if the process failed, because sometimes maybe we ran out of credit, or maybe there was an issue with the OpenAI or Gemini service or any other service that we're using. So we want to make sure if the status is not fail. So it is fail, we're going to just show the error and stop the whole workflow. And we can actually send a message or email to ourselves or something like that. Doesn't matter now, but the only thing that matters is here is that sometimes the request or the task was failed, and for any other reason we don't know, but we don't want to actually get the request again and again and again for the rest of our life. Just fetch this request and gets nothing. So that's why we want to check if the request was failed. If it is not failed, we just wait for 5 seconds and try this request again and check for this new output. So after a while, we're gonna get the result, and the result is successful. So we're gonna actually extract that URL for ourselves, the URL of that image. So as you can see here, if I copy and paste this URL, I'm trying to teach anything that I know when it comes to n8n AI automation and anything that is related to this area. So if you like this video, please give it a like and help me to grow on this platform. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. You're going to see that we've been able to generate this image. You see the women with the bag. And after that, we actually take this URL and send it again to the 𝗨𝘁 API. And this time we do something very similar to what we did to Gemini Nano Pro. We again set the prompt. You can always change the prompt, so I highly recommend you to take this prompt and send it to the LLM that you choose, that you like, and ask it for some customization to actually suit your specific use case. And the only thing that I've done here is that the character should say this, and for saying that part, I have used the exact field that we have defined and configured before for the script. And I've done the same thing here. I've tried to actually replace any double quotation with single quotation to avoid that mistakes. And I've also tried to replace any new line with this new line character. So after that, we're just past that URL from the previous node, and we use the VO3 underline fast. So if I get back to the actual 𝗨 platform, if you hover over the AI video API, if we go to the VO3 API, VO3.1, you're going to see that we have two different qualities, and the price is completely different. So for all this text to video, image to video, which we're actually doing this image to video or reference video to video, we just spent 30 cents. But for the quality mode, which is actually gives you a better quality video, we spent $1.25. So if I'm not mistaken, it is 5 times more expensive than the version that we're using. So I found that the fast mode is enough for our use case, so I'm using the fast mode. And the aspect ratio is again 9:16. So we want to make sure that we're getting a short form content, not the landscape version of. So in the generation type, make sure to use that first and last frame to video. So we simply specify that we're using this type of video generation, not text to video, not reference to, okay? So if I close this model here, we do the same thing as we have done before, and this time it takes a little bit more time. I mean, it could take like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So we really need this time. We really need to use something like this to check if the process is ready or it's still pending. So we do the same thing as we did before, but this time for this video generation. And after that, we're gonna download that video. So after the result was ready, we're gonna get this sort of response from the 𝗨𝗁 API, and the response is simply, let me just copy this URL and paste it here. So the video will be downloaded, as you can see.
Love this watch.
The video was generated. As you can see here, she's saying watch. It is mistakenly, I've actually used the watch script for this. But however, after receiving that URL, this is a URL that we can use everywhere. I mean, you can send it to your friend, and your friend can actually download it very simply because it's a public URL. It is not protected by any means. So what we do here, this is another trick in n8n, where you can, when it comes to actually public URLs, you can simply use the HTTP node and use the GET request and paste this URL that is pointing to that file, and you just simply download that file inside your n8n, and the n8n will store it somewhere. If I'm not mistaken, it will save it and upload it to its temporary directory, something like that. And after that, we have the binary file located and stored inside our n8n. So then we're going to use this Google Drive node to upload it to our Google Drive. Very simple. So the only thing that I need to explain here is that in order to actually use this Google Drive and Google Sheet node, since we are in self-hosted n8n workflow, and I'm actually using this 𝗨𝗄𝗄𝗃 version of the n8n, which is simply a VPS where you can use n8n on it. There's a reason that most of the automators, of the people who wants to automate their stuff inside n8n, they go for this option, is because it is really cheap. And the second option, which is more important, is that at the end of the day, if you want to actually do everything inside n8n, sometimes you need to host your specific open source software, or you want to build very custom and very narrow API, a small API that you have wipe coded for yourself. You want to host it somewhere, and the best way to host it is using VPS. So at the end of the day, you need a VPS. So the best and the most smart, the really smart move would be to use something like 𝗨𝗨𝗃𝗃. So 𝗨𝗨𝗃𝗃 gives you a VPS for like $7-8 a month, and it gives you very good resource where you can use for your n8n, and you can store and you can actually host other things on the VPS. So if you want to use this VPS 𝗨𝗨𝗃𝗃, you can use the link in the description, and you can get a 20% discount, if I'm not mistaken. It should be 20% discount. So however, and I will get a little bit commission, and I really appreciate it. So however, there are two nodes here, and since we are using this self-hosted version, we need to do a little bit more configuration. And this configuration is a little bit, it could be a little bit complicated, but if you click on this node and if you try to add your credential here, you're going to see that n8n always provides this beautiful and perfect documentation. So if you click on this Open Docs, you're going to see that they will guide you through the process of adding this credential step by step. So the first thing that they ask you to do is to create a cloud account, Google Cloud account. So we're going to click on this, and we're going to go to this URL. You're going to click on this Get Started for Free or anything, and you simply use your Google account and sign up to this console, okay? So I will try to do that. And the beauty of this n8n documentation is that they will walk you through step by step. So they will give you that, they will say that log into your Google Cloud console, and I've logged into this console, and then they will ask you to click on your project. So there's no project here, so I have to create a new one, and I'm going to call this n8n. There's no organization, I'm going to create it. So n8n tutorial, okay, perfect, create it, that's it. And after choosing that that project, we have to go to the library. And since these sort of dashboards are really complicated, and I've done this multiple times, but each time I really forget what was the exact process of doing this credential, adding these sort of things. So what I do, I just simply click on this link and it will be opened. That's it. So just let me make sure that I choose the n8n tutorial. So I'm going to search for Google Sheet. So just Sheet, and click on the service. So as you can see here, they just tell you that search for your service and click on the enable button. And for this workflow, we need to enable the Google Sheet API and also the Google Drive. So after a while, it's done, it is enabled. So the next thing that I'm going to search for is Google Drive. Google Drive API, we just do the same thing and we will enable the Google Drive for it. So the next step would be to go to the OAuth consent screen. So for doing this, we also gonna click on this link to see, okay, this is just the documentation. So in order to do that, after adding that API, you would just simply click on this OAuth consent screen. You just click on this get started, choose a name for your app. I'm gonna call it n8n, and the support email would be the same email that I have. And they're just saying that if you wanna use it and give it to other people, you can use the external if anyone who has the Google account wants to access your app. So I'm gonna select this external, and the contact information would be the same email that so I'll just use my own email, click on finish, and done. Okay, and then we should go to the branding, and in the branding there is an authorized domain, and since I'm using the Hostinger version, I just copy their domain, which is hostinger.cloud. So I will just copy this and save them. Okay, so they are saying that if you're using n8n cloud service, just add n8n.cloud. If you're self-hosting, just use that domain that you're using. So you just want to do the same thing here. After doing the configuration for the branding, you just need to get back to your Google console and create on adding credentials. So the credentials is very simple. They just tell you to, in the API services section, create on, I think there's a link for that, this link, and the credential page will open. We just simply click on the create credential. We're going to use the OAuth client ID. The application type is web application because the n8n is working on web. The name would be, I mean, you leave it the web client ID, but I'm going to choose the n8n web. And the only thing that you need to configure here is that you want to click on this button, as they say here, copy this redirect URL and paste it, and click on this create button. Okay, so you just need to follow these instructions, and they're mostly very simple and easy to follow. And after doing all of these things, you're gonna have a client ID that you want to paste it here, and the client secret, I will paste it here, save so let me add the test here so I can remove it later, save the whole thing, and you just want to click on the sign in with Google. And here's the part could be a little bit complicated. When you click on this your account, you're gonna see that access blocked because this specific user is not allowed to log into this account, actually log in using this OAuth. So I'm gonna click OK here. There's something that you want to do. You want to go to the OAuth consent screen again. There is an IDNs page, and you want to add a user here. So my user, this email, I'm gonna click save. Let me just make sure that it's exact same email. I'm gonna click save. Okay. And this time, if I close this window and click on sign in with Google again and choose my account, you're gonna see that I'm not blocked and this app is not verified, because we want to verify this app in order to make it very easy to use for others. But in this case, we're just using it personally and internally for our use for ourselves. So that's why I haven't verified the app. So we just simply click on continue, and we give these access and click on continue again. And as you can see, it is connected. Perfect. So we're going to do the same thing for Google Sheets. We're going to click this and enter all of these information. So instead of just creating the credentials again, what we're going to do, let me open credentials page again. Instead of creating another credential, you can do the same thing, but you can create another credential for that. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use the same client ID and the same secret string. But as you can see here, you can't have access to the client secret, and that's why you have to actually download the whole thing before you actually close the model. So I'm going to remove the whole thing so you can't use it for yourself. I'm going to remove everything here so you can't use it. And you're going to copy and paste the same configuration here, and you're going to click on save, and you do the login. And let me just remove the credential because I don't need it. Done. Okay, so the Google is ready. What we want to do here is that we want to use file and we want to upload the file. We actually specify the name of the binary that we're receiving. In this case, it is just data. and we want to choose a name for this file. The name is very simple. The name is the current date and the current time. And we just want to choose the actually drive that we have, and we want to choose the specific folder that we have. It is very simple. You just create the folder and search it here and click it, and the file will be uploaded. And the last thing that we do, we're going to add an n8n Google Sheet node, and here we choose the exact Google Sheet file that we have created before. As you can see, just copy and paste the name and search it here and click it. And I've also created a sheet called its logs and select it from here. And the only thing that we have here is this created at column and the URL column. Okay, so we just enter this information here, which is the current date, and this URL you see here is the web content link, which is simply the link of the file that we have uploaded. So at the very end, we just add this log here. So that's it. The workflow is ready to use. And in order to actually use this workflow, you just go to the link in the description. There's a link in the description. Just find the link, click on the link, you download the whole workflow. You just log in into your n8n and save the whole thing. Let's say that this is your n8n. You're going to click on this create workflow, and you're going to click on this 3 dots and import by file. If you click on this import by file, you just choose the file and click on import, and everything will be shown to you very simply. And the only thing that I highly recommend you to change is this analyze prompt. I really think very, very valuable for you to change, and maybe the generation, the video generation prompt. But I think the most important part is this analyze prompt, because you can say that, okay, I want this whole generation to be around only, UGC for bags, for ladies' purse, or these sort of things. Only for the watch, only for tech gadgets, something like that. So I don't know, you can actually modify this prompt for your specific market or business. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end. So honestly, I'm creating these videos for business owners who wants to automate their business and they have no idea, they are not technical. So if you want to see more videos like this, where I walk you through the APIs and integrations and using them inside n8n or other tools to automate and add AI to your business, you can subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, I really appreciate it. And you have any question, you can just leave a comment below. I'll try to respond to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much. I'll see you next